Hello, hello, hello. Hi, it's Alyssa at Super Calilistic. Hello to all my Calis out there. I'm gonna give people a minute to get into the chat. Are you coming to say hi? This is my daughter Raleigh.
Hi, every video.
Yeah, she loves to come say hi. I'm gonna check my sound and then I think we're ready to go. Yeah, I hear it. I hear background noise. Okay, lots happening today here in Super Caliland. We have lived here 15 years and we've never painted all of the walls. So they were really dirty, huh, Raleigh? Were there just scuffs everywhere? Were there a lot of scuffs and marks? And now they're painted and it feels so good. It's such a great refresh. All right, sweetie, I'm gonna ask you, do you want me to put on something for you or play your iPad?
Oh, yeah.
Hi, oh, Vanessa says, hi, ladies. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for coming by today. And I wanna thank you too for being a part of my live walkthrough. I'm watching the playback now and it was super jumpy. That was my first time doing that. During a live video, the walking and talking. So I think I'm gonna get a gimbal so I can bring you guys those live videos outside, walking around, doing things, and it was very distracting to me anyway. So thanks for watching the whole video. I had a ton of fun doing that. I quickly wanna talk about, I just wanna go over everything that I want to cover today. You know, again, these live videos are very fluid, so if we end up talking about something else, that's totally fine too. So feel free to chat about whatever. Okay, so the things I want to cover today that I'm really excited about is one, last week Donald DJ, a new viewer, was here and he works at an animal rescue shelter, I believe is what he said. And he said it would be so great if we heard Domino's rescue story, because he was like, oh, I love your dog in the background, your poodle mix. And Domino is a poodle mix and she is a rescue. So I want to talk about her story. I thought that was such a fun idea for a video. I actually thought I was going to be on vacation today, but my plans changed. So here I am at home and I can talk about that. So thank you for the suggestion, Donald. I really appreciate it. And if you guys have any suggestions for future things to talk about, things you want to discuss, feel free, or questions for me, just feel free to put them in the comments. I'm happy to do that. And yeah, I read through all my comments and I respond to all my comments, so comment away. Anyways, and then the second thing I want to talk about is, let's see. Oh, going over my downtown Disney trip, just kind of the highlights. If any of you are curious about what to expect if you're going to downtown Disney in Anaheim, California, the merchandise was so much fun at World of Disney seeing it. And then I want to get into something that I discovered today. So I naively thought that I would be able to buy the 65th anniversary merchandise online. So I didn't buy it while I was in the store. They were fully stocked in the store, by the way, and apparently it all went in a day online. A lot of people bought a lot of, what would that be called when people illegally buy them and resell them? Jesse, what is that called? What do you call that? Criminal activity? And no, can you answer me, Jesse? What do you call that when people illegally buy the merchandise and resell it on eBay? There's a term for that. Resellers. I wanted to call them hackers. It feels like basically a lot of these limited edition sales and the new arrivals, when people feel that, when they feel that they can get, that there's demand, price gouging. Thank you, Vanessa. That's the word I was looking for. Price gouging, and it's so frustrating for the fans. I've read a lot of comments about it in different Facebook pages that I'm a part of, and you know, it's really a shame. Hopefully Disney can try to get that under control. I honestly think the company is just reeling right now, trying to figure out how to reopen things safely. And I don't think they had any idea how popular the 65th anniversary merchandise was going to be. So I think they're adjusting every day, trying to figure that out. So we'll get into that a little bit. And then the other thing I want to talk about, I have a special love of Marie Kondo. I knew about her and people were talking about her for years now. And like my mom will say, she's like, her concept of the joy of tidying up. My mom's like, I was doing that back in the 70s and 80s. So it's not a new concept, but I feel like she reinvigorated this idea of like, your space should be joyful and just, you can say goodbye and thank you and goodbye to things that don't bring you joy. I loved her TV series so much. I explain it to people that haven't watched it. I'm like, it's like Hoarders, but feel good. And it does make you feel good, and it did inspire me to clean up my space. And I'm so thankful. So I want to get into that and like why I love her KonMari method, as she calls it. So we'll get into that at the end. And then of course, like anything else you guys want to talk about. I feel like was something happening just now that Raleigh needed me. Oh, Domino. I'm gonna go get Domino because she is kind of the reason for this video. All right, just a sec. Oh, and I'm wearing my Walt Disney World icon pants. It's so funny, I've worn them so much in the past 4 months during this quarantine that they're really getting worn out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, by the time I get back to the parks, they're just gonna be completely worn out. But I'm enjoying them and it makes me happy, so I'm celebrating that Downtown Disney is open, and it looks like they're staying open, which is really encouraging. Okay, so let me go get Domino. Domino, where are you? Oh, you're right here. Hi, sweetie.
Was that mine?
You're gonna come sit with
What was
me.
that other?
Because we're gonna be talking about you.
There were two.
Let me lower this a little bit, actually. You sit. I know you don't love being on these chairs. They're kind of small. Okay, let's see if I might have put it down too low. Let's see if that works. Yeah, no, that works. Okay, great. So, this is Domino. I keep telling people, hi, oh, Vanessa says, I love Domino so much. Oh, Vanessa, and I'll never forget your Harlow, rest in peace, the little doggy play date meetup that we did so many years ago when they were just cute little puppies. And Harlow, right? I'm getting that right. I'm sure you miss her so much. It's so hard saying goodbye to your pets. It's just a shame. They should live longer. I really think that is one of the heartaches of having animals, is those life cycles. But I also think it helps us have a healthier relationship with birth and life and death. I think we have a really hard time in our culture discussing death, dealing with death, having a healthy way to mourn, and the mourning process, and like embracing that part of our humanity. So my mom would, if she were here, would have so many things that I think would be helpful to share about that. She's a life coach, and I think especially right now as the world is facing their mortality and how scary COVID-19 is, and trying to figure out how to still be alive, because we do have such a short time on this planet, on this beautiful planet. I'm looking at right now, there's dragonflies. There's 3 of them. There's 3 dragonflies just fluttering outside my window. So we're still on such a beautiful planet despite this illness that is spreading and is really harmful. So I think, anyways, I think animals help us face those life challenges. I really do. And Domino, actually, I've never gotten her trained or certified, but from the beginning, people would tell me she would make an amazing therapy dog. So maybe as my kids get older, I might explore that. I've also thought about training her because my daughter has type 1 diabetes, and I've thought about training her to be a diabetic alert dog. It's a long process. I think she's definitely smart. It's okay, Jesse. It's almost dry now. It's okay, Jesse. They're going out on a bike ride. He was just like, don't shut the door. So the painters also painted the door and said, please don't. The man who's painting is on his lunch break right now. So we're trying to remember not to touch the doors and the walls. Wow, you guys, now there's 5 dragonflies. I have a whole flock of dragonflies outside. It's so beautiful. They're just hovering right outside the window. I don't usually see dragonflies around here because we don't have, you know, a lot of water. So it's really kind of a neat natural phenomenon that I'm looking at. I would turn the camera around, but I don't know that you guys can really see them with this wide angle lens. So you're just gonna have to trust me that it's pretty spectacular. I mean, I've seen a lot of butterflies out there, but never, and birds and hummingbirds, but I've never seen dragonflies like that. It's really pretty. It actually reminds me of the ranch. My dad has his family, my family has a ranch up in the foothills of the Sierra Nevadas, and you always see the dragonflies going on the lily pads at the pond when you're swimming. So it always makes me think of that. Anyways, back to Domino. So I've thought about training her actually before quarantine happened and before things started to get a little hectic in mom life here in the house. I thought about training her, but my daughter really didn't want that. She said, no, I don't want her to be my diabetic alert dog. The kids are very close to Domino, and my daughter just wasn't receptive to it. And it's really difficult to train a dog if the person with diabetes that you're training the dog for isn't cooperative, because one of the things she has to do is every time she has a blood sugar level that's below, I think 70, you put cotton swabs in their mouth and you collect their saliva samples. So it's kind of uncomfortable, and she's only 4 going on 5. So it's like, if she's not into this, it's just not going to happen, because then you collect all those samples and then you use those samples to train the dog. So maybe if Domino's up for it in the years ahead, because like I was saying before, and I think I interrupted myself, is when I tell people that she is her age, people go, oh, how old is she? I keep saying she'll be 9 in December. And I was talking about it with my husband last night. I'm in denial. She is going to be 10 in December. So she's definitely getting up there. She's my little senior citizen puppy. When we went to the vet this past checkup, the vet said she's very healthy. So I'm so thankful about that, because that's, you know, it's just when things are working well and your family's healthy, I really have no complaints. That's actually, you know, being provided for, having shelter, and being healthy, as you know, are just so important. I think we all have to remind ourselves of all those blessings that we do have, even during really hard times. So Domino, so she is a rescue. Let's see, so it was 10 years ago this past spring, so it was 2010, it was the spring of 2010, and one of my dear friends, Jamie, she's actually in some of my like really old videos, maybe I'll link one of my videos here. She loves animals, but she was traveling for work. She had a work position where she was traveling a lot by airplane, and she wanted a dog so bad, but she couldn't have a dog because it would be really expensive to have a full-time dog sitter if you're always traveling for work. And she lived with roommates. So are you coming in here to paint? I can move. Yeah, that, I'm sorry you guys, just a sec. I thought I would be safe in here. Wait just a sec. So yeah, that, it's, do you have this color or no? This color paint or no? Or is it that color? I think it's that color. So I don't know, did he say like the whole thing or just the touch-ups?
Alex say this part, only this part, I don't know.
Maybe all of this? Because I think you'll see the different color, you know what I mean?
Only that one?
Yeah, maybe that'll work. And then that, maybe right there, because that's pretty messed up. It's kind of messy. See this right here?
Okay.
Maybe with this one, because of the semi-gloss. Is that it? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I can move this.
Okay.
Okay. All right, you guys. I'm gonna move you. Thank you for your patience. Lots of activity. Yesterday was just wild because they were moving so fast, and I actually thought he was going to be out here on the patio, so I'll move to right here. It's another lovely spot. We got a new plant. We're gonna have to name her. Look at that plant, you guys. Isn't it beautiful? My husband picked that up yesterday at a plant store. Our neighbor has the same one, and we wanted to get the same one, so there's some symmetry because their patio is right next to ours, and we thought it'd be pretty if they're like side by side. All right, I need to lower this a tad because not that far. As I make some adjustments here. Thank you for your patience. I got a pole lamp, got all kinds of things happening here. Okay, I got ugly boxes. I'm trying to get my husband to move these out because it looks like a dude's frat house in here with his. These are older than Domino. These are his little the big speakers. Those are his babies. Those are his first babies. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my laptop. Thanks for your patience, guys and girls, fellows and ladies. Just so I can see what you're seeing. I'm realizing I also do not Okay, let's see how much I can carry all at once. Domino, you can come with me. You're still the topic of discussion. Oh man, and my tripod's about to fall over. Let's see, Jesse will be upset if I put my coffee mug on his book. Here we go. I'm back. Let's do this so I don't, that's like, that Lautner book is a birthday present from my mom to him, and if anything happens to it, I'm gonna hear about it. Okay. Okay, excuse me. Let's see. This is looking like it could fall over. So I'm gonna lower this a bit down here. And I'll do this. Oh wow, they're just gonna be, that's really cool. That's actually this pole lamp that we found in North Carolina and had it shipped out here. It is so cool, but it does not photograph well because it just looks like a yellow stick in the background. Oh wait, let's see. I have to look at my computer to see the framing. Oh, that looks good. Okay, despite the mess and the cables and all. I'm a perfectionist. I don't want to see that. What is that? Oh, that's the pole lamp cable. Okay, there. Little optical illusion. Okay, looks good. Gosh, you guys, I'm so hungry. I meant to eat a little something before I started. Oh well. Let's try this again. I assume you can still hear me. You can let me know if you cannot. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna get another table so I don't have to, that way Domino can be on my lap. This is the process before I start a video. Normally, I'm fidgeting, trying to find the perfect setup. I'm gonna put my cable back here. I don't think that's gonna work actually, so I have to pull it onto my lap. Okay, I'll do this. Okay, great. Oh, that's a workout. Now I feel like I could eat and have a glass of water, but I'll drink some coffee instead. All right, Domino, you wanna come with me? Come on, come on over. She's like, what is happening? What is going on? Why is the door open? Come here, Mama. Come on, come on, come on. She's so cute. When I'm filming, she'll always find a way. If you notice in a lot of my videos, she'll find a way to get into the frame. And you'll just like, if you look in the background, like one shot, nothing's there, and the next shot, she'll be like laying in the background. She can tell. I don't know if it's because I'm giving my camera attention and she's jealous, but she's always up in the camera, and like if I'm filming her, she's just so excited. At first, she was kind of like, what are you doing? Why are you pointing that at me? And then I think she associated it with like a lot of positive attention from me. So then she's like, yes, please, more. Do I get a treat? You know what, when we're done, we'll give you treats because you're being such a good girl. Yes, you are. So anyway, so my friend Jamie, she loves animals. She wanted to rescue a dog but couldn't for work. And she found on the Google, she would call it, She would be Googling everything back then, and she Googled, you know, dog rescues or walking dogs or dog walker, and she found this amazing foundation called the Lang Foundation, and they're a no-kill shelter here in Los Angeles. So she just said, hey, do you want to come walk dogs with me? I go every Sunday to walk the dogs. And it was so great. You just sign in and then you can go. You can even kind of pick and choose like which dogs you want to walk. They all get walked twice a day. And so you just check out the dog so they know when the dog was walked, and so they can keep track of who's getting walked when. And you can walk the dog around this like cute little neighborhood in West Los Angeles. And we were doing that for a few weeks, or we would just meet up on Sundays and walk dogs. It was really fun. When you're done walking the dogs, you can go into their little kennel and spend time with them. And each dog, like everybody knows their story. So what does it mean to be a no-kill shelter? It means that once they take in a dog, that dog has a place no matter what. So for example, if something, God forbid, were to happen to me and Jesse and none of our family members wanted to adopt Domino, she would actually, no matter how old she was or how much time had passed, she would go back to the Lang Foundation and they would try to find another home for her. It's sad to see the dogs come back because they know that they got sent back to this shelter, and it's not the same being in a shelter as it is being with obviously like your family, but it's just so great to know that if anything were to happen, that they have that commitment to the animals that they rescue. And they rescue everything from dogs to cats to horses. I think they have a location in the valley, and I know they do bigger animals like horses. So it's a really cool foundation. I really love the Lang Foundation so much. It was actually a little nerve-wracking because when you go to adopt an animal, they not only do they have you fill out all this paperwork and sign all these agreements. For example, Domino is a poodle mix, and she has hair instead of fur. She doesn't shed. That was really important because we all have a lot of allergies. And we had to sign an agreement that no matter what, once a month at least, we had to get her professionally groomed, because dogs that have hair, it grows in their ears, it grows on their paws, it grows around all of their different body parts and their feet. So they're very prone to infection. In fact, she has struggled a lot with ear infections over the years. And so we had to sign that agreement, and it's expensive. I mean, here in Los Angeles, I'd say the average cost for a dog groom, for a dog, she's probably considered small to medium. She's about 14 pounds. It's on average, I'd say about $70. In fact, that's kind of on the low side for a wash and a haircut. So plus tips. So it's something, it is a financial commitment. So we committed to that. And then why I was saying it's nerve-wracking, they actually send someone to your home to look at the space and look at the dynamics and make sure there's animals that would be compatible. Like if you're taking home a cat and you have a dog and that cat is afraid of dogs, they won't let you rescue that cat because that cat's not compatible with, say, dogs or birds or whatever the environment. Or like they'll say like this dog needs to be with another dog because maybe the dog's very social, or certain dogs might need to be adopted in a pair, or some dogs are not very social, so they'll say this dog needs to be the only dog or it will really get upset and irritated. So they really know the animal and then try to match them to a family or a caretaker, caregiver. So caretaker makes me think of like the Haunted Mansion, like the caretaker of the grounds. I miss the Haunted Mansion. I hope the renovations are done. I expect they would be by the time the park's open. Anyways, so I was walking with, I feel like this is incredibly long-winded. We're like 24 minutes in, but I did love the suggestion from Donald DJ to do a video about rescuing Domino, and it's so ironic because he's not here today. He probably just thought I told him I couldn't do it because I thought I was gonna be on vacation. I really wanted to do this video poolside, but it just, plans change. So anyways, Domino, back to her rescue story. Sorry, I got distracted. So I was walking dogs with my friend Jamie on Sundays and having a blast, and then these two adorable little puppies came in, these two adorable sisters, and they were both poodle mixes, and they were Umbra and Lola, I believe their names were. And I just fell in love. I fell in love. So Domino's original name was Umbra, and she was just this black little ball of cuteness. And my husband, I had been talking about how I really wanted to get a dog for a long time. In fact, if any of you remember way back, we had Stussy, my childhood cat. She was about 20 when we adopted her from my mom, and she actually had, what died? And then she died, to make the story much shorter, and then she died. I was gonna say she had type 1 diabetes, which is very common for an older cat, and I actually had to give her insulin injections every day, and she lived quite a long time. I think she lived till she was about 22 or 23. So that was really special, that she was a cat from my childhood all the way through to into my adult life. And so she died in 2009, I believe. Stussy was the only cat I wasn't allergic. So you were around Stussy and you weren't allergic. So I am really allergic to cats, and I had no idea I was. So we adopted Stussy, and I was getting all these allergies, Vanessa. Like, I'd wake up in the morning and have like red eyes, and I kept going to my eye doctor, and we were like, is it my makeup? And then I'm like, am I allergic to my own hair? And it wasn't until a year after Stussy died that I finally figured out, I was doing tests with my doctor, that I was very allergic to cats. And it never even occurred to me, I'm sleeping with Stussy. Of course it's Stussy. Like, I think sometimes we have that dissonance where we can't, you're super allergic, but when I stayed with you, Stussy slept on my pillow and I didn't die. Oh, that's so great. And then my mom saying, you brought Stussy home with you from town when you were a kid. Yes, that's a whole other story. We did not ask our parents' permission. I grew up in this tiny little town, and so did Vanessa. We're childhood friends. This tiny little town called Los Olivos. I mean, literally it's a flagpole. It's like a block long. It's so quaint and adorable. And there's this, the one market is called the Our Country Store, and out in front of the market, there was a basket full of kittens that someone didn't want, and Stussy was one of them, this little black cat. And my mom said, couldn't say no to all you kids and all of our animal wishes. Yeah, we would just bring animals home and hide them. Anything from snakes to cats, like, it was a zoo. And my poor mom ended up having to take care of all of them, and she didn't want any of them. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I could go on for like probably 10 hours about all the different animals that we brought home over the years. So Mom, thanks for being a good sport. Stussy thanks you from heaven, from kitty cat heaven. So anyways, Stussy died in 2010, or 2009, I'm sorry, I believe it was 2009. My mom said, actually, you kids were great about caring for them. Oh, thanks, Mom. That's really nice of you, because I'm pretty sure whenever we had a dog, I'm pretty sure you made sure that you had to walk outside and like feed them every day, and I'm pretty sure my mom got stuck with that. She says I was impressed. Oh, thanks, Mom. Anyways, so it was a year later, and I was really wanting to adopt a dog, and talking to my husband about it, but he didn't really want to do it because, as you know, dogs are a lot more work. They're a lot more work than a cat. We were both working full time, and so we would have to figure out a dog walker. My mom said, I did, but you got reminded, but without. I think she's saying when I reminded you, we did it. Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember fighting with you, but I also feel like you did a lot of the work, and you didn't really expect a lot out of us, which, yeah, I feel like I need to get my kids like in the habit of doing more so it's not a battle moving forward. But anyways, that's a whole other topic of like what's age appropriate for getting your kids to do chores. Anyways, so I couldn't convince my husband to adopt a dog because he just felt like it'd be too much money and too much work, which he was probably right, but I really wanted to do it. And we weren't ready to have kids, and I felt like it would be a perfect way to kind of test our ability to care for a more high maintenance individual in our house. Vanessa says, hi Susan, I remember babysitting Chipper for you guys. Oh, I love it, Chipper. Oh, Chipper has a whole story too. Sweet Chipper. That was one of our family dogs. Chipper went through a lot. So anyways, I knew that my husband, the one dog that he loved was his childhood dog, which was a Portuguese water dog. So if you don't know this breed, they basically look like Domino, but bigger. Like think like a full-size lab, or maybe even a little taller than that. I don't know if you remember, but the Obamas, that was the presidential dog while Obama was president, was Portuguese water dogs. They're beautiful dogs, but they are big, and that was Charco, I believe, was his childhood dog. And that was the one dog who he loved the way the dog looked. He was so in love with that dog. It was a family dog. It was very sentimental. So when Umbra, which was Domino's name, we officially changed her name when we adopted her. When Umbra and her little sister, who was actually like a blonde, tan, kind of white and gray poodle mix and shorter, when they came in together, Domino was, oh, if you guys look at the early videos, I wish I had more videos of her. She was just this like floppy little black Muppet. She was so cute, so ridiculously cute. And when I met her and when she came in, she wasn't even up for adoption yet. I'm like, I want that dog so bad. I want Umbra. I know that's the one. I think I can convince my husband because he's gonna fall in love with her, so I don't even have to say anything. So I came home and I was just like, hey, Jesse, it'd be really fun. I'm having so much fun volunteering at the Lang Foundation and walking dogs. I think it'd be a really fun way to spend a Sunday. I did not say a word about adopting a dog. I was just like, it's just such a cool activity I'd love to do with you. And this is like honestly one of my only sneaky moments. Like I'm a pretty straightforward person. I just say how I feel. Like I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Like if you don't like a very brutally honest person, you're probably gonna be super annoyed by me. So this is totally out of character for me, but that's how bad I wanted to adopt her. I'm like, I got an angle. So he's like, yeah, sure. So we're volunteering. I just totally nonchalant, because I like knew my way around. I signed us in. I didn't tell him like you can pick any dog. I just like went straight to these two little puppies, and like these puppies just came in. Let's walk them. I'm really enjoying walking them. So he's walking Umbra and Domino, formerly known as Umbra, and I'm walking Lola, and Domino took a poop. Oh, by the way, I have to tell you. So, backstory, my husband is a type of guy who, when we talked about having kids, he would tell everyone, I'm totally fine with having kids, but I will never change a poopy diaper. He was so serious about this, people would be like, what are you talking about? Of course you will. He's like, no, I can't. He's like really precious about like gross things. He's like, I'll hire a diaper changer, which he totally didn't. Like, in the hospital, the nurses like trained him. They're like, this is what you need to do. He didn't change that many diapers, but he had to from time to time. So anyways, so he's just like, ugh, about that kind of stuff. He's squeamish. So he's walking Domino. Domino inevitably takes a poop, so he has to take a bag, and he's bending over, but he's like realizing how cute Domino is, and I'm just not saying anything. I'm just letting him like fall in love with her because she's so adorable, and he's picking up her poop, and he's like, I can see, he turns to me and he's just like, I can see there's a lot of poop in my future, isn't there? And it's just like, he just knew. He knew, I think in that moment, I don't know if he knew how framed he was, but he definitely knew that we were going to try to adopt her. And I was so excited that he was on board, that I was right, she totally reminded him of his childhood dog, Charco. And it was really great because we were able to do all the paperwork and get it all in, because the thing is like cute little puppies, they're gonna get adopted obviously very quickly. I'm sure you know that story, Mom. She's like funny. So we were able to get all the paperwork in and adopt her like right when she was cleared with all her shots and her medical. So We were so excited to take her home, and I mean, those early days as with a puppy, they're exhausting. She's waking me up at 5 a.m. It was a good test for children because you definitely get less sleep with a puppy peeing all over your house, but those were really special times. I was doing a lot of YouTube and filmmaking at the time, so she would be with me in the office, and it was really special. So that's her adoption story, and she has been with us now almost 10 years. I cannot believe it. A decade. It's been a decade. So I guess she's kind of my husband and my son are coming up, but the door's open, so I'm gonna hold her so she doesn't run out. Anyway, so that's her adoption story. If you guys have any questions or comments, you can let me know. And thank you for bringing up all of those other things like Chipper, my childhood dog, and Stussy, poor Stussy. I shouldn't say poor Stussy. She was so old. It's okay. Hi, buddy. Did you want to say hi? No? You can. Oh, yeah, just go throw them in your shoebox. Thanks. I've been cleaning up, and the kids are having a hard time with all the changes, but they're being pretty good sports about it. Raleigh is like me; she loves change, and Declan's like Jesse, my husband. She lived a long time. You rescued her from a miserable life. Yeah, so my mom didn't really ever want Stussy. Okay, Domino, you can go. Here she comes, Jesse. I don't know if she wants to go out. She's coming to you. Anyway, so yeah, my mom never.
I took her out.
Okay, could you look at the paint in the kitchen? So what he did is he just did the one side, but I don't. Shh, Declan, just a minute. I don't know if it matches, the other parts. So does that bother you? Sorry, you guys. There's a lot happening. My husband just got back. What?
Can you come in and show me what you're talking about?
Just look around the kitchen and notice if you care that the color changes. You know what I'm saying? That just one.
Are you saying the cabinets or?
No, that he only painted the one side, and it's different colors. It's the same color as the ceiling, but it's not the same color as over here.
I think it's just the way the light is hitting.
No, it's two different colors. Look at the ceiling and then look at the wall. It's the old color versus the new. Okay, fine. You focus on Declan and we'll talk about it. I'll be done in about a half hour. Okay. There's a lot happening. Okay, so ugliness everywhere. Okay, if I get my way, this will all be gone. I was saying that my husband and my son really don't like change, and my daughter and I are like, change? Yes, bring it on, new energy, and I'm just loving feeling just like, even just cleaning up our place, like it's bringing such a new energy. It's like shifting my mood so much. Your kindergarten teacher asked if we could take Chipper when a pup, because she said if she brought another animal home, her husband would kill it. So my dog Chipper was my kindergarten teacher's rescue, and she needed to find a home for Chipper because her husband, they had a zoo too, and he's just like, no more animals. So we actually adopted Chipper from my kindergarten teacher. So that's the short story on my childhood dog, Chipper. One of 3 childhood dogs, actually. All of them very special memories and so many stories. What was it? Oh, Stussy. I was saying, like, it's actually not a sad story because, like, my mom said, Chipper lived a long time. And like my mom said, Stussy lived a long time. One of my comedian friends came over. We were, like, writing some sketches together. And when he met Stussy, he's like, whoa, how old is your cat? Because she's, like, kind of looking old, And I'm like, she's 20. And he's like, nice. Bonus time, or he was like, she's on bonus time, and that really stuck with me. I loved that expression, bonus time, and I've used it a lot in my life because I've had some near-death experiences. Once in high school in a car accident that I've shared with you guys, I think once on this live video, and then in childbirth both times. If it weren't for the medical professionals helping me, there's no way that I would be here right now, basically. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Red Violin, but Declan and I would have been the blood on the red violin. Not to be like morbid, but I had preeclampsia and I had bleeding and the whole thing, and they kind of did this like emergency operation that night after. Sorry, have I told you that before? I didn't realize he was like in the kitchen. Have I told you that before? I haven't. I'm sorry. Was that disturbing for you to hear? Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. But the good news is, because we were in the hospital and our nurses and the gynecologist, yes, so grateful for medical care. I mean, my daughter has type 1 diabetes. You know, the doctors and nurses saved her. So we're all on bonus time, is basically. Not Jesse. I think he would have just been like one of those gentleman farmers that, you know, remarried several times as all of his wives die in childbirth. He'd be fine. He lived into his 90s, but the rest of us are on bonus time, basically. So every day is a miracle, and I'm so thankful. Okay, so I do have other things I want to chat about. I'll probably go for about like 10, 20 more minutes. I try to do about an hour, so like if anybody is popping by, I often have people like pop in like right at the end, so I want as many of my subscribers as possible to see this. I don't know that many of my subscribers even know that I do this live video, because I probably have gotten lost in the shuffle over the years, but I think when you're subscribed to a channel, sometimes YouTube will send you like a little email or a notification that someone's live, so I don't know. So I try to go for at least an hour just to give people a chance to come by and say hi and ask me any questions they may have. Okay, oh, speaking of viewers, let's see, it was Tuesday, I was doing the live video from Downtown Disney. In fact, that's what I want to recap next, is just kind of my experience and what you guys should expect if you're going out to a Disney property, whether in Florida or California, or a Disney store. I'm sure they're going to implement a lot of the things that they're doing right now at Downtown Disney at their Disney store locations. I think they're really gathering a lot of information and trying to figure out what works and what makes people safe. So anyways, so I was, one of my viewers actually from Turkey popped in, and he's like, hi Calis, and I just loved that so much that I was like, oh my gosh, yes, my viewers are Calis for Super Calilistic and all things Super Cali. So thank you for being a Cali with me, and keeping it super sparkly here in Super Cali land. No matter what may be happening, I am committed to bringing you that Cali love and the good vibes that us here in California are known for, especially where I'm from in the Central Coast. It is so laid back. It is so just like friendly, and you know, just like kick it and have fun, listen to good music, and you know, embrace your good friendships and enjoy your life, Super Cali style. Anyway, so I loved that. Thank you to the viewer, that Matan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but thank you for that, because he was just like, hey Calis, hi Calis, and I was like, I love that so much. That I'm keeping. So thank you, you guys, for being Calis with me. Okay, so yeah, I just want to tell you guys what it was like and what to expect, like if you're thinking of going to Disneyland or any of those places that are starting to open up. So the first thing that happened is they kept the parking lot closed until right before the outdoor Downtown Disney Mall. Sparkle shared, yes, sparkle on. I have my friend Jessa to thank for the sparkle. She brought a lot of sparkle to this channel when I first started this channel, and the sparkle will forever make me think of her, and I'm so thankful for her sparkly energy and reminding me that sparkle is important. It's like a thing. It's a real thing. Twinkles and sparkles and unicorn power. So anyways, and pixie dust. So all of it. Everything that sparkles, yes. Glitter. Did you? Yes! Did I miss something? I saw you go live. I was just thanking you for coming in on Tuesday to my video and being like, hi Calis, and I'm like, I love that so much. So yeah, I'm keeping that. Let's all be Calis together and keep the good vibrations rolling. Okay, so I was just giving a recap of what to expect if you go to Downtown Disney or if you go to Disneyland in Florida. So again, they kept the parking lot closed. So I got to the parking lot, the symbol lot, at 9:45, and there was a woman with a mask keeping it closed, monitoring it, making sure no one came in. And so I just went around the big block and came back through, and I think that exactly 9:50, 9:45 or 9:50, like maybe I got there right before, like maybe I got there at like 9:40, cars were starting to go in. So part of their crowd control is to not allow people to park before before they are all staffed up and ready to handle the lines and remind people to wear their mask and keep socially distant and all of that. So I got into the parking lot probably a few minutes after it opened. So there's no point in going early. Like if you're like, I'm gonna get that 65th anniversary merchandise, I'm gonna get there like 2-3 hours early. There's really no way. They've got all the entrances blocked to prevent any of that crowd buildup that they had on the first day. So they're really adjusting and observing. There were a lot of people there in the plaid vests and that looked more like on a corporate level, monitoring, taking note of the flow, making sure nothing got crowded, and all of that. So yeah, it was really well staffed that way. So anyways, so I went into the parking lot probably around like 9:50, and I parked. They were not separating the parking lot spaces. I'm not really sure why, but I went in and I was not close to anyone in the parking lot because people come in at different times, and by the time you park, you're not near anyone because it's just like the flow is just going. And everyone walked in separately. I made a point. It was interesting because I think in the past, if I'm walking, if I want to get in faster, I might pass someone on the walkway, but I made a point of giving at least 6 feet to the person in front of me. So if someone was in front of me, I would just slow down. I'm like, I'm not in a hurry to get anywhere. So I think my husband puts it well when he's like, we should all be encouraged to be socially aware. So just to be conscious and doing whatever it is that makes other people safe and also helps protect you from encountering any germs that might, or not just coronavirus, like the flu or anything like that. So I stayed behind them, and then the first thing you do is you walk through a temperature check. So one at a time, you go in and a woman asks your permission, and then you give her your permission to take your temperature. She holds the wand in front of you, and then if you have a temperature that is under, I think it's 100, then you go forward. If your temperature is over, I think they ask you to stand aside, your whole group, and I think they do give you a second temperature check. I'm guessing, just like my daughter, she does the finger pricks for her type 1 diabetes, and it's only 20% accurate, so it could be lower or higher, 20% in either direction, which can be frustrating, but it's the most accurate it can be. So you have to take that into account. So I'm guessing what they would do if you were over, they'd probably have your party step aside, and then they would do it again to give you a second shot at, like, perhaps it was wrong, and so I think if they get a lower reading on the second time, you probably don't have a fever. It was just there's a latitude for error, and they account for that. And then you walk through another section where there is a security personnel with a dog. And the dog says on it, please do not pet me, and it's clearly sniffing for drugs or firearms or like anything that would be dangerous. So you just walk through, and the dogs do their job, however that is, they do that. If they smell something that shouldn't be going in because it's not safe, then I'm guessing they would ask you to step aside and then do like a more in-depth search of your belongings. But you just walk through, and then you go to the next section. So it's the third section of security, and it's all separated by more than 6 feet. It's like 20 feet apart, like it's on the pathway. You go into a new section. There's a bunch of rows. They tell you which row to go in. There's someone kind of controlling the crowd, so there's no backup like what you would see at the airport or at Disney parking structure. Before this happened, there'd be long lines to go through security, so they separate everyone out and tell people which aisle to go in. And then how it works, and you might have heard about this, there's a plexiglass between you and the person searching your belongings. So you open all your bags, and then you push it under the plexiglass, and then they look at it. They have gloves on. I'm sure if they feel they need to search it, they do, but they just look at it. They say thank you, assuming everything's fine. You pull it back, you put it on another table, you walk through the security, gosh, what are those called? The scanner, the one where, you know, to make sure you don't have anything harmful on your body. You walk through one of those, and then you grab your bag. So they don't ever touch your bags unless they absolutely need to. And then you're in, and it felt so amazing. I instantly started like filming, the music's blaring, like the atmosphere is there. I have to tell you, they put so much work into the landscaping of downtown Disney. They really spruced it for the 65th. They made it very mid-century, so you could just, it was like glamorous arrangements that were very understated and made me think of the 1950s, something you would have seen in the planters during like the World's Fair or some, you know, just where it's like very beautifully designed, really relying on nature, the beauty of nature versus the bells and whistles. There were no like plastic ornaments or anything like that man-made. It was all just beautiful plants and foliage, and I am such a sucker, obviously, for plants. Look at this new addition here. I showed you guys earlier. Look at her. She's beautiful. So we love landscaping and design, and I really appreciated what they did with the landscaping and the planter arrangements, and I videotaped a lot of it. So I'm hoping, I wanted to give you guys a video. I think tomorrow is the official date that they would have reopened and celebrated the 65th anniversary. So it's very sad that it's not happening, but they want to be safe. I think that they are taking every precaution to not open too quickly. So it's not happening. So I wanted to produce that video, but honestly, I haven't even looked at the footage. So I'm guessing if I get it together, that will be my Tuesday video. So it'll be like a whole walkthrough and commentary on downtown Disney, my favorite shops, and then my highlights of the World of Disney store, because I definitely had some things I loved, and I'm so disappointed because I really thought, oh, naively, I was just like, I'll get all of this stuff at the online, and like so much of it is out of stock online. So I don't even think Disney anticipated the level of demand they would have for this merchandise. So the World of Disney store was so fun, and like I said, I'm gonna get a gimbal. They're not that expensive, so excuse me, if I do videos in the future, they will be more steady, because watching the playback, I'm like, Alyssa, the camera's like bouncing all over the place. I had a tripod, which I thought would help stabilize my phone, but clearly it did not do the trick, because it's very bouncy when I walk, and whatever, it's a live video, the resolution's not great. I don't have unlimited data usage, so I used the Wi-Fi, the Starbucks Wi-Fi. I went to the Starbucks, I signed on to their free Wi-Fi, and then I got in line. And I have to tell you that it worked really great for the most part. It's a little pixelated, so thankfully there is that Wi-Fi in downtown Disney, but that's the only free Wi-Fi available. So the Wi-Fi they have in Disney's California Adventure and Disneyland is not, they don't have any hot spots in downtown Disney. So one of the things, I talked to one of the people, my mom said, yes, it worked well. Thanks, Mom, and thank you for watching. It was so fun to interact with both you and Vanessa and Matan. I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you guys for being there in the moment, because there's like people in front of me and in back of me, and I feel like, I don't know, I just feel so silly if I'm just like talking to myself. I mean, they don't know who I am or why I'm making that video, but I get really shy about it. So thank you for validating my video making obsession that I have. You know, now that it's been a decade of Super Calis sparkle, a whole decade, that's crazy. I should do a celebration, maybe year 15 if I'm still at it. She said, it was great, I didn't notice the shaking. Thank you. I wonder if in the moment we're also in it, because I didn't really notice the shaking either, and now I watch the playback, I'm like, ugh, so I wonder if, but anyway, so I'm gonna work on the technical side of it. It's not, I don't think it'll be too difficult or expensive to fix, just make a few tweaks on that, and like how I do it. It was my first one doing it out in public and not like in my house like this, so it was a milestone for me for sure. That's kind of how I feel about 2020. Like, it's been a really, really rough year for so many of us and the world, but it's also been a year that's had a ton of breakthroughs for me. I think my mom says, do that meeting, talk with people around. I don't know what that means, but oh, like what does that mean? I don't know. She's probably trying to life coach me through the comments, like to get, read the above line. Oh, I can't see the above line. So when I'm doing this live, I can only like see the ones as they pop up. So if I happen to notice it and I don't comment, that's just because I don't see it. I don't see like a feed. I just see like they go up and then they disappear until I watch the playback. So like my mom said, oh, good to know. So last week, Vanessa made the suggestion. She made it twice in the video to make a bandana that matches these tie-dye shirts give it to Domino. And I kept missing it because I'm like making the tie-dye, and then I said it later, and then when I watched the playback, Vanessa, great minds think alike, she had suggested that twice, which was such a good suggestion, and it looked so cute on Domino. If you guys want to watch that, I tie-dyed matching shirts for my whole family for the 4th of July. Just trying to make the most of this. Basically, Los Angeles is on and off. She says, haha, because I'm annoying. You're not annoying. Stop it. My mom said, I thought that, yes, you are free to talk with people around. We benefit your freedom. Oh, like just be free. Yes, I agree. I think we should all be free and not feel embarrassed, but easier said than done. Because like I've been doing this for years. I'm a performer. I've done directing, I've done so many things, and I seem really confident, but you guys, I still really deal with being self-conscious in public. Like I was in my garage talking about my messy garage for one of my vlogs, which I have not even edited, and from your freedom. Oh, like my freedom gives you freedom? I totally agree. Like when I see other vloggers just totally doing their thing in public, it inspires me for sure. In fact, I've enjoyed watching some and discovering vloggers during this quarantine, and they've inspired me so much, which I'm really thankful for. I just want to make sure you guys, if you see the playback, it might be distracting later. So anyways, yes, so I agree, and I think it's an ever-evolving thing that if we keep confronting our fears and make those breakthroughs, we're just, I think it's surprising how much opens up. For example, I was just thinking that day that I should reach out to one of my YouTube friends that happens to be like this huge Walt Disney World vlogger. He is like one of the biggest. His channel is called Spokesman, I think. I think it's Spokesman. I don't think it's Spokesman. I think it's Spokesman. Like Spokesman is play on words. Anyways, he does these amazing live vlogs that like last for hours, and he just, he does music videos and the whole thing. He's great. And we've known each other for the last decade, so we've stayed friends. And I was thinking, yes, self-doubt and self-consciousness is overrated. Yes, out with all of that silliness. Shame too. I'm done with it. I'm just done with shame. So don't even bring me your shame, because I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. It's unhealthy. Anyway, so I was thinking about him that morning. I'm like, I should really reach out to him, but I'm like such a small YouTuber, and he's like, he probably won't even see my message. And then at the end of my video, he popped in to say hi, and I was like, so great. And we reconnected over Instagram, which we do from time to time. So I don't know. I just feel like, yes, trust yourself, knock on the door, trust that it will open. If it doesn't, something will open up. I really believe that. Like, it's never gonna look the way that you planned, but if you don't face those fears and just put one foot in front of the other, even if it feels like you're walking in quicksand, I promise it will force you to grow outside of your comfort zone. So I often do things, like if something gives me a ton of fear, I will just go and do it. For example, I never had any intention of doing stand-up comedy. I just didn't, I was the girl that couldn't retell like a really good joke. Like, I could somehow ruin the punchline, right? By my cadence or whatever, my delivery. And I decided to take a stand-up class because as a performer, that was the thing that I was most afraid of. And I was like, you just gotta face this fear. Just take the class, do the workshop. And I fell in love with stand-up comedy and started doing it. I actually got paid to do it at West Side Comedy this past Christmas, which was such a huge milestone for me. Of course, now everything's shut down, but it's like, who cares? Like I faced that fear and something really cool like grew out of that. I've met so many amazing people because I faced that fear. So you just never know, you guys, like where facing your fears will take your life. So I'm a little off track. I wanted to talk to you about the world of Disney. I wanted to talk about this merchandise thing with the 65th anniversary. Today I went online and I'm like, I'm just gonna buy the 65th. Vanessa, you saw that, and Mom, you saw that 65th anniversary headband. The ears, it's so adorable. I really wanted one. I went online. I went on the Disney store, you guys. Wait, Declan, maybe you could go in my room or your room just because it's really loud in the background. Thanks. I went to the store. I went online to the Disney store. I'm like, oh yeah, they said to all their customers, we have lots of stock that'll be in stock for a long time, which I'm sure they do. They're probably regrouping, working on security, because basically they got hacked. Just to get to the point, they got hacked. So it was released on July 14th, so just a couple days ago. So I went online today. I'm like, I'll just order my headband now from the comfort of my kitchen. And I couldn't find the merchandise, not even like it on the site and it says sold out. It's not even there. And then I started reading in all the chat rooms that I'm on Facebook that apparently the people started queuing and being on a wait list the night before. They stayed on it all day, tens of thousands of people in front of them. So they got hacked, and what the hackers did is they got in before the queue and would just buy it all up. And then now on eBay, all of it's on eBay with price gouging. Like Vanessa was, thank you for the vocabulary word, basically like selling it for much, like if you want to try to get the Loungefly bag instead of like, $180, it's like $400, right? So just outrageous, taking advantage of people that really want this stuff. It's not limited edition. They said this a week ago. They said, don't worry, we have a lot of this merchandise. It is not, they do these limited edition that sell out seriously in an hour on the site, and also because of the price gouging. It's a real problem. I'm sure they're aware of it. I'm sure they're regrouping. They're working on the security of their website. Maybe adjusting the requirements, because it used to be that, I think what people were saying is you can order up to 10 in every single size. That's a lot of merchandise for one customer when 10,000 people are waiting. So basically it all sold out in a day. It's not even on the website. So I was so disappointed. I'm like, I could have just bought it. There was a whole rack of them. But I'm actually thinking, I don't know, like I do really like it, but the colors are pretty dark. It's a really dark navy, kind of retro shaped bejeweled bow, and then a black bejeweled. And when I say bejeweled, it's not sparkly like the older styles. It's like actual gemstones on it. So it is really beautiful and classy, but at the same time, I guess if you're like dressing up and going to one of their night events, which are also expensive, so who knows if I'll ever do that, but I want to. I almost wish I had gone to Pixar night. It was $100 a ticket, but it sounded so amazing. And it was basically like the last nighttime event. If you guys don't know what these nighttime events are, it's when they close the park early, and then if you bought this $100 ticket, you go in and it's a limited number of people. All of the Pixar characters came out. You can go on any ride without any lines. So I feel like it's worth it if you're an adult and you want to go to like a Disney party. I think they keep it open to like, I don't know, 1 or 2 in the morning. And it just looks like a lot of fun. There's dancing and all of that. So I kind of wish I had gone, just because that would have been like the last one. Like all of the other ones have been canceled. I think there were some ones that looked really, really fun, but they were already, there was going to be a Star Wars night, and that was already sold out. So I'm sure all of those people are so disappointed, because I don't know if they're just trying to get their money back or hoping to apply it to a future event. So I don't know. I'm kind of thinking, I don't know if you guys remember what the 2020 ears look like, but they're like navy and sparkly, and then, or no wait, is it the bow that's navy and then the ears are silver? But it's kind of a neat combo, and I get that 2020 is kind of like but at the same time, it's been a year of a lot of breakthroughs for me. That's 2020 is when I decided to reinvigorate this channel, basically on the 10-year anniversary of this channel. So I'm like trying to do more work versus like the stay-at-home mom role when my kids are getting bigger. You know, we're finally fixing up our place, things like that. I just feel like these breakthroughs are happening. Spiritual breakthroughs, a lot of us are talking about it as like the Great Awakening. So many of us feel like this time has been a time to kind of go within and, you know, not maybe turn off the news and like really just acknowledge the miracle of who we are, not just as physical beings, but so much more as these star children. So I feel like there's so much happening that it's the yin and the yang. It's like so bad and so good. Meet up with it. You know, it's like you can't have one without the other. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get a different pair of ears. We'll see. Right now we have, currently I don't have my own ears. I wear Raleigh's lollipop ones, and then my mom let me borrow her Minnie Mouse ears, which are adorable, just the classic black with red bow with the white polka dot. So those are the only ears I have right now, and I don't have, and Mom, I found up in your attic last, I guess, Christmas, yes, I will get myself a pair of ears. I might get the Haunted Mansion, but I also have the Haunted Mansion leggings, and that might be too matchy, so I don't know, you guys. Anyways, this year, this Christmas, in my attic, I found my original, oh my gosh, I want to show you guys, my original Mickey Mouse Club hat that you bought me, Mom, when I was a kid, probably like 12 or something, if I could guess. That would have been around the time I would have cared about it. At the Mad Hatter at Disneyland Resort, and we got, you know how they do the embroidery at the Mad Hatter, embroidered in gold, my name, it says Alyssa on it, and I found these. Okay, you guys, will you hold on just 1 minute? I've got to share this with you. I'm just thinking about it right now. That's Donna's daughter. Look at this, you guys. This is, I even have it on a head in my closet because it's so special. It was kind of bent and banged up. Look at this. It's a Mouseketeer cap with the ears. It says Disneyland on it with Mickey. And then you guys embroidered, you let me do Alyssa in gold embroidery. It's a little bent and worn out, but that's why I put it on here. And then this strap, the elastic, is really the only thing that didn't hold up. It's really stretched out, so maybe I would, you could replace that. Or not. I feel like you could pin it in with bobby pins. This is actually, my hairstylist gave me this, for those of you that have seen me do stand-up. When I do, I'm like a completely different character. I'm a bad mom, and I have these, what I call my bad mom bangs. So when I'm using those, they're in storage because I don't know when I'm going to do stand-up again. It's so sad what's happening with comedy clubs. Some clubs have opened up, but here in LA, I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. So anyways, the bad mom bangs, I would rest them on this, like when I'm drying them or whatever, but I thought this was fun. So this is in my closet in a place of honor. That brings me a lot of joy, which brings me to Marie Kondo. I actually need to wrap this up because I have just gone 7 minutes over what I wanted to do, and there's a lot happening. I gotta, you know, do mom stuff and house stuff. But this has been so much fun. Maybe I'll save the Marie Kondo talk for another. I feel like I'm alone in this. There's only, like, I have a Marie Kondo joke that I wrote, and I do, and there's always like one young woman that laughs, and I keep the joke because I'm like, this joke's for you. Like, you get me. Like, you're a soul sister, you know? I'm not a super neat person because I have a creative spirit, but I think why her series really was so great for me is because I like her approach, and it makes me feel more powerful when sorting through a lot of stuff. And I've been going through our garage, and there's just so much stuff, and I'm the type of person, I can't throw anything away. So it really helps me get more like, okay, what really brings you joy, and just let go of all those other reasons that you hold on to things. That being said, I still have way too much stuff, so don't think like just because my house this looks like a mess, but like other parts of my house are getting cleaned up, that doesn't mean like all of a sudden I'm a minimalist. Like I have a ton of stuff in my garage, and I want to make a video about like me trying to clean it up to help keep me accountable. I've been cleaning so much, I haven't been editing, so I don't know what I'm gonna do Tuesday. I don't know if I'm gonna bring you one of those produced videos or just, I don't know, go somewhere and go live again. But anyways, either way, you know, I kind of want to go to Universal City Walk. Would you guys be into that? They have a whole new line. I watched one of my favorite like YouTubers. It's called Best Life and Beyond, if you want to check them out. It's a couple. They're so adorable. They've got such a great attitude. They're so positive, and they're so they're super Cali. They're definitely super Cali. I love them. They actually live in Malibu, and he surfs. I mean, they're very relatable too. Like, I just feel like they're our generation, Vanessa. Like, they're super cool. And of course, because MTV generation, of course, we're cool, right? Anyway, so that was me being a little like self-aware. I get that. Whatever. Peacock feathers up. He did, so the guy Spence, it's Spencer and Katie are their names, and he did a Universal City Walk video this week, and I had no idea. I haven't been to Universal City Walk in about 10 years, since I used to live closer to that side, and I was pursuing acting, and I would go and, you know, meet people for lunch or something at Universal City Walk, and their gift shop, the Universal City Walk gift shop, they have a whole new retro line. It's so cool, and lots of like movie memorabilia from like Back to the Future. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And then they have a Hogwarts section. And Vanessa, I feel like we've talked about how I feel like you like Harry Potter. I'm not sure, I might be guessing. But my son and I are reading Harry Potter, so I was thinking we're about to finish the book you gave us, Mom. We'll be done with it soon, and then maybe I could take him to the store, because they have a whole section where it feels like you're at Hogwarts, because the interior of the store looks like Hogwarts. So it's not just about the merchandise, it's the space that makes it such an experience. So I thought, you like Harry Potter? Would you like to, have you seen this at Universal City Walk? I don't know when they built it. I'm guessing they built the store to look like Hogwarts when they did the Harry Potter section of Universal Studios. So Universal Studios is currently not open. They have not reopened, but Universal City Walk, like Downtown Disney, reopened, and they actually reopened a while ago. They reopened, I want to say 4 weeks ago, maybe a month ago now. So I think maybe I could just do these live videos are so much easier, because the editing, I love editing. It's one of my favorite parts about being a YouTuber, but it is incredibly time consuming, and we're, you know, trying to clean up and stuff. So, so maybe I'll do that. That'd be fun. I don't know. To be determined. I don't know. So thank you again to all of you. Calis, you're so super Cali. Thank you for coming and chatting with me and listening to me ramble on about, it's so funny because Donald came from Ohio, came up with the idea for this video, and maybe I caught him off guard because I'm like, I don't think I can do it next week, but it ended up that I could do it. So maybe he'll watch the playback, but my mom says would be fun to see. Okay, cool. Maybe we'll do that, ladies and fellows. All right, comment if you'd like to see that shop at the Universal City Walk, because they do have some retro stuff that looks really fun. Yeah. I guess this is it. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.